Shalom, this is Chris with firstcenturychristianity.net. You may be wondering why I'm standing in my front yard wearing a tallit. That is because I can. That's because nobody is coming out of these fields to try to kill me because I'm wearing a tallit. Nobody's raining down rockets on my house because I believe in the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And I am not a Jew. I am a Christian. I'm a messianic believer who believes that the first century Christians and the first century Jews fellowshipped together in the synagogue, and that at the end of days, the two will be reunited before we enter into eternity. It is with dismay that we've seen the events of the last week. On Shemini Atzeret, which is the 8th day of a feast called Tabernacles, which fell on Shabbat, on this last Saturday, Hamas decided to rain down thousands and thousands of rockets on people who were just fellowshipping and relaxing on one of God's holy days. That's awful. We in the U.S., we have absolutely no idea what that level of persecution looks like, what living on that knife's edge is like. And so to be in solidarity with those innocents who are now about to have to wage an incredibly awful and bloody war in order to liberate themselves from this evil, I felt like wearing my tallit out here in public while my neighbors are driving by, looking at that silly preacher man wearing the Jewish prayer shawl. Except this one's not Jewish. It doesn't have the Mogen David, it doesn't have the Star of David, and it doesn't have the verbiage on the Torah either. But you know what? I don't think that if there were Muslim terrorists in my neighborhood that they would care about that. I think they would want to kill me just the same. And that is not a world that we should want to live in. We should be willing to fight for our freedom, and we should be willing to fight for the freedom of those who are innocently oppressed. And with that, welcome everybody back from Sukkot, from the Feast of Tabernacles. I look forward to getting back to Bible study and to teaching and to fellowshipping with everybody as we worship Yahweh in the name of his son Yeshua, and look forward to the return of the Messiah when both Israel and the nations, those who are humble enough to fellowship the way Yahweh wants us to fellowship and worship the way that Yahweh wants us to worship, the way that his Messiah worshiped and the way that the apostles worshiped, that when everybody is finally humbled and we all enter eternity together and look forward to a day when there is no more sorrow, and no more tears, and no more crying, and no more war. Have a blessed week in the name of Yeshua.